It really is these dang phones, man. I tell you what, if I could get rid of my smartphone, I would. And this has been a topic I wanted to talk about for a little bit. And I don't know. This could go either way for me. I acknowledge that smartphones are incredible in many ways. However, I think just from a basic human perspective, I think cell phones, well, mostly smartphones, are actually very detrimental to humans. And I'm going to talk about why. So let's jump into it. My major issue with smartphones, number one, is the addiction element of them. Now, I am realistic and I do agree that you control your smartphone. Your smartphone doesn't necessarily control you. Now, on the contrary to that, we have our entire lives wrapped up sometimes within these phones. And sometimes you just can't get away from it. All of a sudden, your phone will buzz. Maybe it's a text. Maybe it's a notification from an app that you use. Like, there's so many good apps out there. Like, for example, I use one for stretching. It's called Bend, right? Great app when it comes to stretching. That'll give me notifications too. And of course, I could shut those off, but it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I need a reminder, right? But like, there's so many other things like social media, TikTok, all that good stuff, or bad stuff, however you want to see it, is on your smartphone. And those things simply did not exist that long ago. And I see people, and I myself was one of these people that was constantly on my phone. And I didn't even notice it was like something I kind of craved just to be able to sit down and like scroll on my phone, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. And pretty soon, honestly, what I noticed was simply that my phone made me so much more anxious than I had ever been in my entire life. Like, I would consider myself not an anxious person by any means. Like, I'm pretty calm, cool, and collective. But goodness gracious. I mean, whether it be like something like some news related, whether it be politics, man, that is something I have really stepped away from. And it's my mental health is so much better. But man, there is so much bad on these phones. And I get it. Like, right, you don't have to pick up your phone or scroll or anything like that, but man, that takes a lot of self-control nowadays. And I guess ultimately like what I've struggled with the most is my phone kind of ruining my life to a certain degree. I mean, that's a little extreme, but it's like I would just find myself scrolling, getting aggravated over these TikToks that I would see. And like honestly, like we almost sit in a little bit of an echo chamber. I know that's quite the term as of recent, but like these algorithms are made to keep you on these apps. So of course they're going to feed you what you want to be fed, right? Now, I think the mature thing and what I've come to realize, and whether it's maturity or not, I don't know, is that I don't want my phone to control me. I don't want these social media apps to control me, right? I want to live a more simplistic kind of, I don't know, I don't want to call it old school, but it's like, maybe like for like recently I've started reading the local newspaper. Like that's how off the rails it's gotten to where I'm like, I'm going to sit down and read the local newspaper, which is a wild thing to do. But honestly, it's refreshing because it's so much nicer to not get these like random dopamine addictions to where like I can't put my phone down. So like when I'm reading the newspaper, it's like everything just slows down. And honestly, just not being on my phone makes the days last so much longer. And whether that's a good or a bad thing, I think if we just slow down our life, and this is completely off topic, but if we just slow down our life a little bit, I feel like we'd be so much more happy. This whole world and our, especially the American culture, has gone so far like you have to be productive 24/7 to be happy or something like that. And I think it's anti what we as humans were created to do, which is honestly just live within our means, live simple, easy lives, not necessarily easy lives, but the simple, non-anxious, stressful lives. And I think all our lives are not simple, stressful, anxious lives, right? And so if I could get rid of my smartphone, I would. Unfortunately, my whole life is kind of wrapped up in these phones. That is something that's kind of scary. I'll be honest with you. Another thing that's really scary is like, I don't know, man. There's so many websites out there that you can find a lot of information about people. Like, I'm not going to name any of these, but like we can look up all of our neighbors, which, some of our neighbors have done some kind of sus things, but like I guess it's good that we know a little bit about them. But we can look up their criminal history, but also you can look up just about anybody. You can look up their name. You can find related people to them, their addresses, their phone numbers, their emails that are associated with these people. And it's like, man, like that's kind of scary. Not that I'm like looking to be hiding from anybody, but it's not a good feeling when people can so easily find out just about everything about you. And that's one of the main reasons I've stepped back from social media so heavily, is like the internet is kind of forever. Now, granted, like I wasn't posting anything or doing something scandalous, but at the same time, I've kind of realized that the world outside of internet is actually a lot better, and it's not so bleak and dystopian, right? It's real people moving around trying to make a living, for themselves and their family. But privacy is huge. I mean, all these big companies, there's been all these lawsuits with Facebook just selling all your data. And it's like what are we doing? That's a whole nother topic I can get into. But back to the simplicity thing. I sometimes I just wish my life was a little bit more simple. Like not having the internet in general. I think I could make a long video on whether the internet was actually good or not. I think at first people thought it was going to be this revolutionary thing, and it was. But now I'm looking at the internet like, man, it's kind of nice to like not know some things, right? Like it's kind of nice to not know what happens all across the world at once. Like obviously with history is very important. We should learn from it. But I don't think it's healthy as an individual to know every little thing that goes on in the world, especially since all these things that get put on the media are usually not good things. They're usually bad things for you to click. Ultimately, just clickbait in general. But yeah, I mean, just the phones, man, with the addictions, with social media, and just like, man, I can't tell you how many people just like pick up their phone instinctually, because I did that too. Whenever I was bored, I would just pick up my phone, and I mean, I would see so many people. Like my wife and I were eating at Texas Roadhouse of all places not that long ago, and there was an entire family of 5 eating their dinner. Every single one of them was on their phone, and like kids, like 3 kids, every single one of them, like not like 3 iPad kids, 2 parents, all on their phones. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are these generation of kids gonna grow up and be just like, everybody's just gonna be on their phone, and we can be chronically online, chronically just depressed and anxious? I don't know. Where I'm gonna end this before it becomes too much of a rant. What I've been trying to do in my life is to limit my phone time in numerous different ways. I've done that through setting limits, or just simply just self-control, just being like, I am not gonna pick up my phone for this amount of time. And one thing I do notice is the more notifications I get, the more I want to pick up my phone. So I think a good habit would be to limit the notifications, especially from apps that you just don't need notifications from. And when you get so many notifications, they can just be so overwhelming to the point where like you want to pick up your phone. You see your phone buzz or it like light up, and you're like, man, I really want to check my phone. And it's subconscious usually. You don't necessarily know what's happening, and some people might not even see anything's wrong with being on their phone all the time. But man, I've just realized that it just doesn't matter. Social media just doesn't matter. It's not about who you know anymore. It's just about people trying to grow their own personal brand or whatever on social media. And these algorithms are there to help that. So anyway, I hope this video resonates with some of you. Let me know what your stories are, like of the crazy things you've seen on the internet, or how your phone has maybe like ruined your life or whatever. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, if I'm off base here, if this is something that you guys think about as well. So anyway, more videos to come. Peace.